I think it's helped the whole curriculum, the accessibility to the device and the up-to-date support for all curriculum areas has been fantastic. It's certainly helped the teachers within their classroom and supporting the application of the theme of what they're doing. It's really supported the extension of that for our students. I definitely think it's supported that independent revision process for our students, and that in turn year on year, and particularly this last year, has really raised the bar in terms of our outcomes at the school.
GCSEPod has had a big impact on English as we've been using it. We've seen our GCSE results in English going up year on year as the GCSEPod usage has been increasing. For English, with the syllabus as it is now, GCSEPod's really helped in English because we have got to have a lot of content. The students have got to learn a lot of poetry, they've got to learn a novel, they've got to learn a Shakespeare text, they've got to learn a play. And so in order to help them to learn that, it helps them in terms of that retrieval, the actual content, which characters, which themes, which keywords, the context of something, the history behind something, how it was relevant at that time, how it's going to be relevant to us now, and that's why we're teaching it now in the contemporaneous time. I think in terms of the GCSEPod style and structure, lots of key ideas are repeated, which sounds as though it could be monotonous, but actually for students, helping them with the recall and the retrieval of keywords and key ideas, it really helps them. So even if they're playing one after another, we'll notice that they pick up on key terminology, on key methods, on key characters. One more thing I'll say about English as well that I do point out to students is the way that the GCSEPod is scripted, short and sharp and concise and focused, is the way that I ask them to emulate in their essay writing too, as they're listening and watching. Top tips for other schools, you're implementing GCSEPod. I would say use it for homeworks to start with, let students explore it, let staff explore it, and just play with it to start with, and then it's absolutely beneficial in terms of incorporating it into lessons as well as homeworks. I would definitely recommend GCSEPod to other schools and colleges because it's just so accessible, it's so easy, it's really appealing to students.
So the thing we like most about Access GCSEPod is its versatility. We use it from year 9 in a very simple, straightforward manner, just showing them in the videos, up into year 11 where we use it as a really thorough part of our revision plan for them, rather than then just going away and going, I don't know what I'm doing. The students find it really useful because we set it out for them, we plan their revision for them in a way so they know what it is they need to do. And the GCSEPod videos are the perfect length for them. They're long enough to explain everything fully and they get all the information they need, but they're short enough that they're not waffling and they're getting bored watching them. I would say the biggest success we've had since using Access GCSEPod is the rollout of our revision programme. We've developed it over the course of about 3 or 4 years and it's now become a really integral part of our GCSE maths revision. If I was going to come up with some top tips for best practice for another school, I would say make it really clear to the students what you want them to do. Set out the videos you want them to watch and what you want them to do with them, and then they will do that. I would absolutely recommend Access GCSEPod to all other schools and colleges.
GCSEPod, I would say, is quick, is easy, and a fantastic tool to help students progress within their GCSEs. I like GCSEPod because students are accountable for their revision. They're able to see their data, they're able to see usage, which is a fantastic way of tracking their progress within history. I would say the benefits for Access GCSEPod would be the fact that actually it consolidates their learning. It's an element of retrieval as well, so students can reflect on what they've previously learned. It's quick 5-minute videos so they can completely understand and get together their notes and be ready for their GCSEs. I do have some top tips. I would say you can use the usage and you can share it with parents, which again is fantastic as you can indicate where they need some more help. Also, it helps with intervention as well and placing them in the correct groups for that intervention too. I would recommend Access GCSEPod to other schools as it consolidates their learning. Also, it fuels a competitive environment within the classroom. It can be used inside the classroom and outside the classroom. It's very beneficial and I've personally seen the results in my students.
With the introduction of the statistics course, 2/3 of the lessons we use GCSEPod, and because it's not like maths, in maths students are set. In statistics it's mixed ability, so the GCSEPod gives them the opportunity to work at their own pace. Some of them need longer to complete a task, some need shorter, and I can set them more tasks. And obviously you walk around the room when they're doing it and you help them and some questions I have to actually mark, and they come and say, well, you marked question 12, sir, you know, so I can see and I give them instant feedback online, so I'm on the pod as well as them at the same time. Also, it's a nice change to the lesson. The modern student likes IT, and it's almost like they're playing a game, so they're all focused. If you come into my lesson, you can just hear tapping away on keyboards, silence, everyone working. It's brilliant.
We introduced GCSEPod at Bourne Academy to begin with, and we saw an increase in the exam results, and it was a bit of a no-brainer really. This works, it makes a difference. We previously used a different revision-based website, but because it was so visual and linked with the kids' mobile phones, it was, as I say, it was a no-brainer to introduce it at the other 3 schools as they joined the trust as well, and they equally have seen such an improvement in exam results as well. So GCSEPod definitely works.